I found a tiny, unmarked key taped inside my husband's wedding band. When I finally found the box it opened, I realized he had been planning my future without me. My husband, Thomas, has never taken off his wedding ring. In 10 years of marriage, through yard work, gym sessions, and beach trips, that gold band stayed firmly on his finger. He used to joke that if he ever took it off, the spell would be broken. I always thought it was romantic, a sign of his absolute devotion. But last week, while Thomas was under heavy sedation from minor surgery, the nurse handed me his personal belongings in a small plastic cup. For the first time, I held his ring in my hand. As I turned the ring over, I felt a strange bump on the inner curve. Taped precisely to the inside of the band with a microscopic piece of clear adhesive was a tiny, flat silver key. It was no bigger than a fingernail. My heart began to race. Why would someone hide a key in the one place they knew would never be searched? I looked at Thomas's peaceful face in the hospital bed and felt a wave of cold suspicion. Was he keeping a secret life? A private safe I knew nothing about? The moment we got home and he was resting, I started my search. I checked his office, the lining of his suitcases, and even the attic. Nothing. Then, I remembered an old, locked wooden chest in our basement that Thomas claimed he had lost the key to years ago. He said it was just full of his grandfather's old books. I tried the tiny silver key. It clicked. My hands were shaking as I lifted the heavy lid, expecting to find bank statements or letters from someone else. Instead, the chest was filled with hundreds of small, sealed envelopes. Each one was dated, starting from the day of our wedding 10 years ago. I opened the most recent one. Inside was a crisp $100 bill and a handwritten note for the one-day fund. Today you mentioned how much you miss the ocean. We're $100 closer to the beach house you dream about. Don't worry about the stress. I'm holding the line for us. I started opening others. Some had $20, some had $50. Every single note was a record of a moment I had expressed a dream, a worry, or a wish. He had been quietly skimming from his own personal fund money for a decade, hiding it away because he knew I would have insisted we spend it on practical things like the mortgage or car repairs. He kept the key in his ring because it was the only way to ensure I wouldn't find the money and use it on him instead of myself. When Thomas woke up and saw me sitting on the basement floor surrounded by 10 years of his quiet sacrifices, he didn't apologize. He just leaned against the doorframe and smiled weakly. He told me that he wanted to make sure that even if life got hard, my dreams stayed safe. He wasn't hiding a betrayal. He was hiding a mountain of love. I realized then that while I was looking for a secret to break us, he had been building a secret to sustain us. We aren't rich by the world's standards, but standing in that basement, I felt like the wealthiest woman alive. I learned that true love doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it just quietly saves up for your happiness when you aren't even looking.